welcome back and welcome to another book review video. I knew as soon as I finished this book that I wanted to make a video talking about why I loved it so much. I finished the book in the very early hours of the morning with tears streaming down my face, and it is probably my favourite book of the year so far. It will definitely make my top 10 at the end of the year, and it is of course My One True North by Queen Millie Johnson. If you've been following me for a while, whether that's on here, on my blog, over on Twitter, you know that I have read everything that Millie Johnson has written, and I have loved every word she has written. I am just such a massive fan of hers, and it's no surprise that she's just received the Romantic Novelist Association Outstanding Achievement Award at the awards, which were just a couple of weeks ago. She made an amazing acceptance speech at that award, and it is here on YouTube, so I'll link it in the description box below if you want to go away and watch that, either once you're done here, or pause this, go watch that, and then come back here. This book was just fabulous. This deals with grief and tragedy, which of course are not the most cheerful of topics, but it does so with such heart and such optimism. Obviously, if you are going through something like that right now, then maybe think about whether this is the book for you. Exercise care. But whether you are a Millie Johnson fan like me, or whether this is the first book you've ever come across by Millie Johnson, it is an excellent book to pick up. Die-hard fans and newbies will love this book. So this is obviously a novel about two people who are, like I say, going through something, but we get to follow them over the course of the book. I fell in love with both of these characters, and I just really rooted for them right from the start. So we have Laurie and we have Pete, and it kind of switches between their point of view over the course of the book, and we know that their stories are intertwined somehow. The tagline here says, "As surely as the compass points north, some people cannot be kept apart." And then we just have a picture of someone on a bench, and that's all the cover gives away. So we know that their stories are intertwined, and we have the fabulous position as readers of the fact that we know stuff before they know stuff. We know how they're connected, and we know what could bring them together, but we don't know whether it will or not. And I really like being privy to that information as a reader, and that's something that I really enjoyed about this book. Laurie is a solicitor for a newspaper that Millie has written about before that always gets things wrong in print, and so she's the solicitor that has to go in and smooth things over and make everything right for the Daily Trumpet. And it was great having the paper be kind of a secondary character in this novel, having had it in previous novels as just mini snippets of wrong headlines and kind of mini little bits of articles or things that were run about previous characters in previous novels. So it was good to have it more at the forefront in this one, and that's something that I think Millie's done really well for fans of her work already. She's put that in there. She knows that we're fans of that, and you know, she used to be, still is, a professional joke writer, and so the funny stuff that happens with the Daily Trumpet is just really funny. For me as well, Millie's books always give me a little taste of home, because Millie is from Yorkshire, her books are set in Yorkshire, and so I get to kind of go home for a little bit whilst I'm reading this book, and that's kind of where it means a little bit more to me on another level. One of the other things that I really like is how sensitively Millie always deals with issues in her novels, and this book is no exception. Obviously, I've mentioned that there's some grief and tragedy in here, but We also have the fact that we don't always know what's going on behind closed doors, what's going on with other people's relationships, what people's marriages are going through, or how people are being treated at home. And she's covered this in quite a few of her books, and we have that as a sort of running issue throughout this novel, and she just deals with that so well as well. So it's got that level of sensitivity. This could be an issues book. It could be, oh, it's all about the grief and the getting over the grief and how it affects your life. And we have the grief in here and we see how it affects the characters, but it isn't the be all and end all of the storyline. We've still got the story of these two people going about their lives, and like I say, we know that they're connected in some way. They don't know that yet. And we get to see whether they come together or not. The other thing that is really funny about this one, aside from the Daily Trumpet, is that these two people meet at a grief support group, and the other characters in that grief support group all have their own, not subplots, but separate backstories and things that they bring to the meeting. And some of the stuff that happens to them, some of the stuff that they say, some of the stuff that they do is just pure comedy genius. And they really kind of help to dilute the grief that they're talking about in all of these meetings. So yeah, I just absolutely love this book. Like I say, it's one of my favourites of the year. Definitely going to be on my top 10 at the end of the year. Millie Johnson is Queen Millie for a reason and rightly deserved that Outstanding Achievement Award. I will leave the link to this one as well as that acceptance speech video in the description box. I will also leave my written review of this one if you want to kind of go back over any of the things that I've said. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back with another video very soon, so make sure you are subscribed so that lands in your subscription feed. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I will see you very soon. Bye.